Welcome back. I'm your host, Cheryl Tan, and you're watching Prep for Retirement Television with Patrick Moriarty. Our second topic today is sequence of return risk. We just talked about longevity risk, Patrick. Can you explain what sequence of return risk is and how this can impact retirees?
So I want to show you some numbers. I have a graphic that I want to put up on the screen that paints a picture of what the sequence of return risk really is. We have portfolio A on the left, and portfolio A starts with $500,000. And the first 3 years of this portfolio, there are negative rates of return, -10, 13, and 23. And at the bottom, there are positive rates of return. There's a +9 and a +19. The average over those years is 4.8%. The $500,000 grows from $500,000 to $910,000. Now the portfolio B on the right, same $500,000, same rates of return, except the order is flipped. We have positive rates of return early, the +19, the +9, and then the 3 negative rates of return are at the bottom, -23, 13, and -10. Average is still the same, 4.8%, and the money grows to the same dollar amount, $500,000 grows to $910,000. Okay, so now let's look at the second set of numbers, because this really shows the importance of sequence of return risk. So in the second set of numbers, this is where we start taking money from the portfolio. Again, we start with $500,000, and we have negative rates of return early in portfolio A. We have -10%, -13, -23, and at the bottom, that's where we have our positive rates of return, +9, +19, same average rate of return of 4.8%, but we start taking 5% from the portfolio. We take 5% or $25,000, and we see that because of those negative rates of return early, the portfolio falls from $500,000 all the way down to $20,000. And that's because of the early negative rates of return. If we look at portfolio B, now again, same rates of return, the order is flipped. We have positive rates of return early in retirement, negative rates of return at the end, same 4.8% rate of return, same $500,000. We take out $25,000 a year, but the $500,000 stays intact and is worth $477,000 at the age of 83, 84. You know, this isn't trick math. This isn't just playing funny games with the numbers. This is real sequence of return risk. Experiencing negative rates of return early in retirement and taking money out can cause you to run out of money. It's that simple.
The numbers really tell the story.
Yes.
It's
They
quite
jump
a
off.
difference. Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
What can you do to avoid this from happening?
The thing that I like to do with my clients is I like to construct what I like to call a 3-bucket system to investing money. The first bucket is their very safe money. It's their bank account money. It's the money they have at the local bank that's liquid, it's accessible. They use it for their spending needs. They need it. They have it there for their emergencies. It's maybe 6, 9, 12 months of living expenses. It's a good cushion for their retirement. Then the middle bucket, that's their principal protected bucket. That's the bucket that they know they are not going to lose a penny in there. Now, they might not earn a ton on it, but their principal is protected. And maybe the maturity is, 3 years to 10 years. But we know the principal is guaranteed. The third bucket, now that's their risk bucket. That's the money that can fluctuate, can go up, can go down, can lose money. 7 to 10 years, 5, 7, 10 years. And we don't disturb that bucket when the markets are down. When that bucket has a loss, we don't pull money out of it. We pull money out of the bank account. We pull money out of that principal bucket, that principal guaranteed bucket, the second bucket. The clients who have success, the individuals in retirement that have success, have choices, have options of where they take their money from. And that's where individuals can have greater success when they have greater options.
It's so often when you're thinking about retirement, you feel like you're putting all of your money in one big bucket.
That's right.
Well, hopefully one giant bucket, but one bucket.
Right.
But what you're saying is to really think about it in 3 buckets.
Correct.
What can you do to avoid having to touch that third bucket, like you said, when the markets are not as favorable?
So again, having different choices, that's very important, but also having enough guaranteed income in retirement. The more income you have in retirement, you know that's coming in no matter what the assets do, that gives you success. So, you have your Social Security, you have your pension. If you need more income, generate more income so you don't have to disturb that risky bucket. You know, having a solid plan, having options, and having choices of where you take your withdrawals from.
What is your take on timing and luck and having success in all of this?
I think, you know, I like to say, you know, a lot of people like to say, oh, I'd rather be lucky than good, and I don't believe in that. You know, I think luck is a result of hard work. Do hard work, create a good, solid plan. Don't depend on luck of the market, right? If you retired in a good market, great, you might have success. But if you retire in a bad market and a lot of your money or most of your money is at risk, that's when you run into trouble. So don't depend on luck. Don't depend on timing. It could work out in your favor, but you have to plan for the worst.
So people might be watching this, listening to you. They've got all their papers, one bucket.
Right.
What do you suggest they do right now?
Well, I mean, they can give us a call. They can call our local number. It's very easy to remember. It's 410-599-3300. Give us a call. We lay out 10 appointments per week for the show. Viewers can grab one of these appointments, sit down for an hour. We can have a talk, you know, look at your plan, see what kind of track you're on. I'll let you know if I can help you. If I can't, I'll also tell you that. If you're a techie, we have a QR code that they can scan. Goes right to my calendar, grab an appointment, and sit down. It's just a discussion, you know, it's no obligation, there's no cost, and don't bring a checkbook. We're not selling anything.
I know you've got plenty of personal stories and client stories and just stories in general of people where they have come to you worried.
Right.
And I know you've got a personal one to share as well.
You know, I'll never forget when my dad retired. He retired in 1995, and of course, I was his financial advisor, so I knew all about his assets. And when he retired, that was the beginning of a really good, solid stretch in the market. You know, 1995 to 2000, 2001, I mean, his money doubled. And fortunately enough, he wasn't needing to spend it down. He had pension, Social Security. But that growth he got early in retirement had a huge impact on the success of his plan. But if he would have retired 5 years later, in let's say 2000 or 01, before that huge tech crash in the market where the market dropped about 40%, it could have had a totally different impact on those people retiring at that date. So that's an example of timing and luck.
So if people have questions, they can reach out to you.
They can reach out.
And just ask the questions.
Sure. It's real easy. It's not very painstaking. You know, we just lay out your plan, look at your numbers, do some projections, see if you're on track.
The numbers don't lie.
No, they don't lie. Sequence of return risk is real.